Hello and welcome to another live stream of ABSOLVER. Now, we played ABSOLVER last week. Since then I've beaten the single player, which wasn't very hard to do. The game's about 8 hours long. For me it took me 10, but that's because I'm bad at video games, as anyone who's ever seen me do anything in my life will be able to tell you or discern with my general lack of spatial awareness and physical control. So what we're going to do instead is take this online. We're going to go competitive, because ABSOLVER is really, the single player is a training ground for the competitive arena, and the competitive arena is set up in a weird way. There's a couple of things I like about it and a couple of things that I don't. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to probably get pummeled by strangers from the internet, and then I'll tell you, well, I'll show you, rather, the problems that I'm having with the way that the multiplayer is set up. Now, the first one is the most obvious, and that's that in order to fight someone, well, I'll show you, it's okay, but it's quite a good combat system. First of all, I'm really enjoying the way it's all put together. It's nicely skill-based with, I mean, there's a couple of moves that are, I don't want to say cheap, but there's a couple of moves that you can basically do very well only knowing 2 or 3 specific moves. And that never feels good in a video game if you can just button spam. There's the Drunken Master, not the Drunken Master style, I think it's called the Stagger style. It's clearly like the whole, like that whole thing, which is where you mimic the movements of a drunk person in order to beat your opponent up. And the way that it works in ABSOLVER is, well, there's a 2-button combo that you can just repeat ad infinitum, and it'll basically win you most fights. This guy's, there we are. Oh, mistimed that. Didn't mistime that. I do like that. That's kind of rotisserie kick there. It's a very nice move that I... Oh. Yeah, one of the things that I really enjoy about this is because of the... Oh, there you go. Wow. One of the things that I really enjoy about this game is because of the way that you kind of mix and match individual punches to form combos. You typically you can end up dodging and... Oh, shit. That's a bit rude, I thought. See, I talked a load of shit about myself. I think I've probably got this guy sorted. Well, yeah, you can, like, block and parry in the direction of punches that would be happening if you were fighting a different person who uses that same move. So it's not like a Street Fighter thing where you can learn someone's, like, directional combos, because everyone you fight is going to have different, like, chains and things like that. You get here and you kick your ass. Alright, that's how we want to... Alright. You only heal as long as you can remain on... Oh, no. Yeah, wrong directions. You've really got to... You've got to watch, because a lot of the attacks are omnidirectional, in that if you're blocking it from a certain direction, typically, if the NPCs that use it are blocking it deliver it from a certain direction, if you set it up into a different part of your combo, or a different angle, or depending even on the move that you use immediately before it, you can change it to come from a different direction. So what you'll end up with a lot of times is, like, that punch, for example, that big punch that he keeps throwing at me, that can come from either direction. And, I mean, obviously it's a very obvious punch, but I don't know, I just find myself instinctively blocking to the right, because that's the first time, that's where it came from the first time I found myself fighting someone who used it. Oh, yeah. God. Yeah, no, he's got a nice... Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, because of the way like heavy attacks and stuff work as well, you can really change up how you want to deliver your. Here we go. Sorry, yeah, a lot of this is about learning your specific opponent's attacks, and or their patterns rather, and then going in on and using that against them. And he's pretty much got my number at this point. So what started off quite strong for me is rapidly going downhill because he's figured out the directions that most of my attacks come from. There we are. Okay. Yeah, he ducked. Yeah, and now it's a nice 1v1. I came out of this very cocky, and he's shown me up for that so far. Oh, fuck off, mate. Dodge. Bullshit. Yeah, he knows that I'm not good at if he dodges to the right there, you can just basically avoid everything I do. Oh, you little turd. Yes, no, he's kicking my ass again. Like, some attacks really don't mind if you dodge to the side, because they'll hit you anyway, and some attacks will really easily be negated by that. And it's like you say, the faster you can learn what your enemy's up to, the easier it is. Now, this is my problem with this game, is because once you're into multiplayer, you're fighting the same guy over and over again. Like, that's the traditional way of doing it, and you've got to boot out of the entire fucking multiplayer system and then go back in order to fight somebody else. And that just seems like a obvious mistake for a game about multiplayer scuffles. Oh yeah, I keep blocking that from the wrong direction. Eat it. That's a nice kick, and I don't know why I have it at the end of that combo, and I don't know why I don't just put it into a Y, because if... Alright, Ys are your heavies and X's are your lights, and you have them in combos, so, like, each... I've been through this already in my previous stream, but obviously each of these little 4 triangles has its own combo positions. Oh, no. Get out of it, you idiot. There we are. Yeah, left, more left. And I don't know if you're noticing as well, but yeah, I was kicking this guy's ass at one point, I'm sure of it. He's doing that pushing kick thing, which is really powerful. And I'm not sure which direction that's meant to be from, because I feel like I'm deflecting it from the right direction, but it keeps coming through. And this is quite a tight system, so I'm genuinely... I feel like I should probably... Oh yeah. Now I'm getting him. Yeah. Ooh. Nice. And obviously there's weapons, but you have to spend. I think I don't know what the resource is called, but it's some kind of like vaguely magical thing that you use to summon your fucking magic punch gloves. And there's also swords, which are better, but require more resources to summon. Oh, we both perfectly dodged each other's well, not perfectly. Oh yeah. Yeah, you have obviously different combos with different weapons, and this is a lot more meaningful, I guess, with the sword, because there are obviously sword-only moves, because it's a fucking sword and not just fancy fists. Now, is he going to keep fighting me? Because a lot of the time, when you beat someone, they'll leave, and then you've just got to go through a loading screen, stand up, go back into a loading screen to fight someone else. Like, you've got to do the whole system the whole time, all over again. And I think it would be a lot better, frankly. Because, you get booted out into the single player, and then you get, like, a chance to spend your stuff, and there's, like, the incremental... Like, I've got 1,231 health, and if I up that by a point, I'll have 1,239, so I get 8 more health, which is, like, less than 0.1%, I think. That's a +1 to 248, 249. They get markedly smaller the higher your level is. Which I guess is to make sure that, like, someone in level 55 versus someone level 60, they're not in too bad a disadvantage, but it just... I don't know, it's the kind of the Dark Souls system, I believe. Simple shoes will have the felt to walk silently on forest paths. Yeah, why not? I'm going I'm going very light at this point. Like, the heavier you go, the slower your attacks are, but obviously the less damage you take. And while there's certainly styles that can work with that, like certain punches which, like, allow you to basically give you, like, a shield for one hit, so you can get hit while you're throwing them and it doesn't matter. Or it does damage, but you're suited up to take damage at this point. But the game feels a lot slower, and people who can... If you're fighting someone who can punch you twice in the amount of time it takes you to throw a punch, which isn't uncommon. Like, a lot of people... Like, a lot of moves include 2 hits, so immediately you're vulnerable to those. But like, also there's just there's like 2-3 punches you can chain together, which will land within the space of that punch. Like, my a top right combo, I think, can usually do that. And so you've just... It's all about, like, sacrifices. Because obviously I take a lot of damage every time I get hit, but I am very fast. I can outpace people who are a bit slower than me, which is, kind of a redundant statement, but you get what I'm fucking saying. It's a fighting game where you punch men's. I like it, actually. I like the whole... Like, it's got this technical issue in that you long load in, fight a guy, and if he beats you, you might get a couple of fights while he pummels you. If you start beating him, typically people will leave at that point, because there's there's nothing to keep you there at the end of the fight. This is quite a long load time. I'm beginning to wonder if there hasn't been some kind of network issue. Of course, the game wouldn't tell me there was. It just loaded me for a while and then dumped me back out into the single player section, and I have to load again. It's... I might just be waiting for someone else to load at this point. But yeah, I think that's my first issue, is that it's a game very based around, like, the multiplayer aspect of its, like, combat system, and the multiplayer aspect hasn't been integrated spectacularly well. And yep, yeah, I thought so. Yeah, the other guy must have disconnected or something, and we are finding another session. Yeah. I thought that was just me loading in there. I thought it would be very quick. No, and if you have a certain number of fights, you unlock better gear than you do pick up from... Well, it's not better gear, it's just nicer looking gear. I think the stats are the same. But, like, the gear that you pull off enemies, they've been wearing for years and it's all crap. Whereas the gear you earn for completing combat trials... Oh, this is one of those combat trials where everyone just falls off ledges all the time. That's cool. Gonna bow to this guy. Come get me. Come get me. I'm not gonna come down here. No. You come up here. Alright. Let us begin, sir. Oh. 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 Well, I guess he logged off. Or disconnected, or something happened. We get 2 points. And I'm out of the... See, I'm not... That's the first time that's happened. But this is a game reliant on its PvP. The point of this game is to train you into... Ooh, do you want to fight me, sir? Do you want to fight me, strange man? Yeah, you can just... Like, It's got a Dark Souls kind of multiplayer system. Is he just gonna? No, I'm not gonna. All right, I'm not gonna get into a fight with him if he just stood there. It's got a Dark Souls like style multiplayer system, in that people just turn up in your world, but they're not red or blue. They just exist. So they fight other, like they can fight random strangers. You can just, if one of them turns up to you the same time you're fighting one of the mini bosses, you've got a friend for that mini boss fight, maybe, or maybe they'll kick your ass, or maybe they'll wait until you've nearly beat the mini boss and then kill you to earn your XP, because there's just no real way of knowing. I do like that everyone so far is quite, at least in the duel mode, like there's very rarely will you find someone who's just in it to win. Most people are in it to like legitimately have at least have a good time with their, I don't know, they're playing it like the game intends, which is to say that they've come up with a combat style that they like and they want to use it. And the reward you get for doing a lot of the PvP is that you get to teach other people your combat style. Oh, okay. Apparently this is someone who thinks it's a bit rude to heal. Oh. Yeah, fuck. Yeah, he's quite good. But he's wearing like quite heavy, well, at least heavy pants and shoulders. I don't know how heavy he's about. I'm getting a bit of lag, it seems. Just a little. Some attacks do better against shields than others. There's a lot of attacks actually in this that whose special ability is basically that they can deflect charging. So like when you're like pulling a massive punch and you get like that exact thing actually there, yes. Oh god, that I'm not doing well against in this moment. Like there's a lot more attacks that are specifically for stopping charge attacks than there are charge attacks. I think there's like 2 charge attacks, one from the front and one from behind, and that's all your charge attacks. Whereas with attacks that stop charge attacks, there's like 4 or 5, like per combat style. There's an abundance of uncharge attacks, and then just very rarely will you actually get to use one in a situation where, like, the situation that they were apparently designed for. Get me, you idiot. There he is. And yeah, and you can, what I do like about the multiplayer though is that it keeps the same rules from the single players in terms of how you learn moves. So you do gradually, by blocking moves, and this is very smart, I think I mentioned this in the last video, but I really like how the way you will learn moves is by blocking them, because you have to basically figure out how it works as from the perspective of someone who's trying to not get their ass kicked by it, and that's how you upgrade your fucking combat skills. I'm kind of having him at this point. He's... oh, there. Okay, so if I beat him now, I have that kick. And that fucking leg twist thing. Oh, he's gonna kick my ass, though. I guarantee he's gonna kick my ass. That's... Yep. Here we are. I'm gonna fucking... oh, I'm gonna be so annoyed if he kills me now. And he definitely is. Because he's incredibly tense. Oh no. No, he doesn't. Because he just decked me in the back of the head. Like a fool. Ooh. But I like that. You see what I mean? Like, that felt a lot more interesting than a lot of fighting games to me. Because you created the moveset. You know what all the buttons do. So it really comes down to how good your forethought is in creating the combos and things, and that's so much more interesting than me than what a lot of fighting games. And I'm not good at fighting games, so for me they tend to become obviously no fighting games are they're a lot of them are very good, but for me what they tend to be is literally just contests of skill in terms of who can manipulate the controller better. Oh, bit of lag there. Because for me, the ability to manipulate the controller is the thing that's being tested, because I can't do it that well. So what'll happen is if I'm playing fucking, I don't know, Street Fighter or some nonsense, then the test of my abilities is whether I physically can complete the button entry to do combos and shit. That's the level of bad I am at fucking fighting games, is that I'm functionally terrible at them. But with something like this, it's 3 button presses and another button that leads into, and you always know the moves you're doing. You always know what you're going to do, and you've seen each move that you know lots of times because you've had to beat people who used it specifically when they were using it. You've had to learn the blocks and the timings and everything. And it's not difficult. Like, the block is one button you hold down, and each character has a little ability that makes them their, there's 3 stances, and each of those has oh god, too early, because he's got me. Yeah, he's got me. Yeah, each of the 3 stances has its own fucking special block thing, and you learn moves faster when you use that. And the more difficult the special block thing is to pull off, the faster you learn. The character I'm using has this parry thing, and that's the hardest one to learn, so it gives you the most XP, because, or at least the game thinks it's the hardest one to learn. That's not me making a judgment, that's the video game having a fucking difficulty stars system, and this one has the most stars on its little difficulty system. Eat that, you capoeira motherfucker. Nope, he's got me. No, he's not got me. I will not allow this to be the end. God, yeah, no, he just walked through me. Came through me like a fucking swing door. Alright. And now I fight this guy again, if he wants to fight me again. Because there's no fucking... Oh, it would do so well from being more like a fighting game. Because it definitely is. It's definitely, borrowing... There's definitely the feeling that this wants to be more like a fighting game. Because it's... I don't know, it's taken on all this shit. It is definitely, I don't know, I don't know what to call it, because I don't know. Because, action-adventure, typical kind of nonsense, I'd call it, it's not a hack and slasher, because it's not mindless enough. And that's, it is largely a button masher, but the buttons that you're it's... I don't know, there's a level of complexity, there's a level of complexity that you decide upon before the mashing of the button starts that makes it a lot more interesting than just, running and hitting X. You're fucking... you're designing the fucking techniques that you're going to use, and I think that's way more interesting than Button Masher would lead you to believe. But I don't know what to call it then, because what is, like, I don't know that we have terminology for this kind of thing. It's like a third-person fistfight strategy game in that you design your fucking dude and you've got to like tutor your way through all this shit about like what each button's gonna do, and then you go off and fight your mens against the other dude's mens, and that's it's nice. Like I'm fucking enjoying it. Yeah, no, he's just kicking my ass again. Oh, you turd biscuit. Come here. Yeah, he's just taking me down. He's very good, he's wah. Wah. Yeah. But yes, this is a video in which I get my ass kicked repeatedly. And I'm fine with that, you know. I didn't become a fucking... I didn't decide to stream video footage of me playing a fighting game on the internet because I had low self-esteem about my ability to play fighting games. I decided to do it because I genuinely don't mind. And also, this is, you know, fucking look at how cool this guy is, whooping my ass repeatedly. This is a video about him. He's the protagonist of this story, and I'm the unlikable narrator character who's everyone's glad when I get my ass handed to me at the end. Yeah, dislikable protagonist streaming videos. That's a new... You see, we're on the fucking cutting edge of modern technology. They're going to be all the rage. That said, I suppose dislikable protagonists isn't, like, you name me one likable fucking video game streamer. I promise not to be as dislikable as fucking PewDiePie. I'm not going to start yelling racial slurs. Is a guarantee I can make to you. And apparently YouTube's favourite person in the world can't. You gonna fight me, bud? Yeah, you get back in your fucking box! Oh! I'm amazing. Where is it now? Right, now that I've insulted the most popular person, it's time for the therapeutic bit, where a man called Wah hands me my entire ass. What? Get out of it, you fuck. Oh yeah, I've got that move fucking solved, son. Yeah, my problem tends to be that I'm blocking way too early for a lot of these as well. Oh, shit. Yeah, he's beating me. Time up. Yeah, that'll probably be it. That's half an hour of me getting my ass kicked and also loading screens, because that's about as much as you can expect to achieve in Absolver at the end game. And it's sad because it's so fucking tasty when it works. It's a very nice burger served by a narcoleptic, in that, you know, it's lovely when it all happens, but my god, does it very rarely all happen. Ooh. Not even wearing a fucking jumper. Look at me there. I do like the way that you just dress your man and then you're off. I wonder if he's wearing any underpants. Is he wearing any underpants? Of course he's wearing underpants. Like, fucking ridiculous question. Alright. Oh, got fancy boots. Nah, but they slow me down. You've got to balance your speed versus your desire to not have every bone in your body shattered by a super punch. You see, that there's the version that you find, and those are the versions that you earn. Like, if you want to have better gear, you've got to go and find it. You've got to win it, rather. You've got to compete in the crucible of ass kicking that exists online and beat other people, and that's a very cool way to kind of to do it, because you can end up as like a scruffy but very successful warrior just playing single player. But if you want to look all fancy and cool, you've got to fight other people. You've got to prove yourself in the crucible of human misery. And of course you advance slower, admittedly, but you do still advance even if you lose, which is nice for people like me, for whom loss is a constant companion. But that'll be it. Oh, are you gonna fight me? Yeah, yes. Alright. Fuck you, idiot. I'll end this video as soon as one of us dies. Oh, I see. I'm just throwing fucking punches at this idiot. Come here. No, come on, I'm sure you'll be able to fight me eventually. He's quite bad at this game. I'm starting to feel legitimately bad for him. Hey look, how did you end that video where you got beaten up? Oh, I attacked and destroyed someone who was clearly unable to fight back. I'm basically every bully from fucking... I'm basically every Stephen King novel about a child's bully. I'm gonna bring you back to life, because that was unpleasant of me. Hi, Kiko. Ow. I suppose he would be mad at me. I'm gonna... Alright, no, okay. No, I'm gonna kill this man, and then we're off. Eat every variety of dick. Alright, now. I'm just I'm bullying this man. I'm gonna take his sword and kill him with it. I'm feeling pretty cocky, is what you've just learned from me. And he probably more cocky than I deserve to. He's just been kicking my ass with that sword. Right, here we are. I've been Luke Maudsley, that's been Hollywood Metal. I killed him with his own sword. Good night, goodbye, God bless, and I don't know, some other thing? There's not a lot left to say, to be honest, because we've ended this one quite abruptly with me murdering a man with his own blade. I guess there's nothing left to say but go away, really. Bye.